Okay, we'll get started in a few minutes. Let's have everybody find a seat. And if you haven't already, we have agendas at the entryway. And on this agenda, it has our list of presenters and a map of the fire on the back so you can follow along with our operations update. Kick it off. Okay, I'm showing just after 6 o'clock. So first off, I want to thank you all for coming on behalf of Northwest Incident Management Team 2. And we are here managing the fire and picking up the good work that Northeast Incident Management Team 2 did to set us up for success. First off, just a little housekeeping here. Like I said, there's agendas. They are in the entryway, so if you'd like an agenda, I'd ask you to go pick one up. And also, our emergency exits are out where we came in. There's emergency exits out in the front and off to the side to our right. Also, bathrooms are all the way in the back if you go out through the entryway, and you will see signs for restrooms if you already don't know where it is. But anyways, thank you for coming, and we're really pleased to put on this community meeting to have some in-person interface with the communities here. So we appreciate your attendance. And also, we are filming this online. It's being streamed on our Facebook page. So I want to say hello to the online audience as well. Thanks for attending. So today, my name is Jacob Welsh. I'm a Public Information Officer for Northwest Incident Management Team 2, and I will be emceeing this meeting. We will also hear an operational update from Terry Walter, and he is the Operations Section Chief for Northwest Team 2. And following our operational update, we will hear a fire weather forecast and a briefing from our incident meteorologist, and that's Matt Callahan. And a little bit of a team perspective after that, and that's coming from our incident management, incident commander for the team, Chris Hutzel. And following that, we're going to open the floor to our agency administrators, and that would be Chief Busey from the local fire department, Stevens County Fire District Number 1, and also Adina Sellers, and she is from the Director of Emergency Management here for Stevens County. And also Pat Ryan, he's the Regional Manager for the Northeast region of the Washington DNR, Department of Natural Resources. And after that, we also will have from the Red Cross, Glenn Lockwood come up and present. So I'm going to ask you all during the presentation, if we save all of our questions till the end, we'll have a question and answer session. So save your questions till the end of the presentation. And then after the Q&A, we will also be around. So if you want to ask us questions one-on-one, we are available for that. So without further ado, we'll bring Walt up here, Terry Walter. He's our Operations Section Chief, and he will give you an update on the current situation.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Terry Walter, Ops Section Chief for PNW2 here. To give you kind of the operational perspective on this fire, we do have personnel on this fire 24 hours a day. We're doing 2 separate shifts, a day shift and a night shift. And so we do have folks out there patrolling around, working 24 hours a day. So I'm just going to start by pointing off on the map here, this west side. Our division Mike has been working that, and they're mopped up about 50 feet in, almost all the way up to this area. And so it's looking really good. There is still heat in there. They're still removing fuel, mopping up, taking action to cool that down, but it is looking good. When you get up the tower up here, a retardant drop from Sunday kind of made it a dirty burn, so they're trying to clean up in there, so it's taken a little bit longer, and they're mopping that up, securing it, removing the fuel. When we get up to the north end here, you can see this line is dozer line, so we've got dozer line out there, and then we've gone in and went direct on the fire's edge all the way across in each one of these spots. And we're continuously still picking up some spots up there. We picked up one today, and but we've got it lined. We've got folks in there taking the heat out of it, trying to get hose lays into it and all that. So being successful in the actions there. As we come down the east side, it's kind of a broken record. Got good line in there. We're mopping up, we're taking the heat out of it, we're working in deeper, been doing some saw operations, taking down some hazard trees along the roads, looking very well on that whole east side. As we come down to the southeast corner here, this area does have some heat up in the rocks, and it's very difficult for our folks to get up there, so we're letting it work its way through the rocks. So there is fire backing off the hill there. We do have folks down in the area watching it, and as it comes down, we do have line in there, and we do have a spot where we can take action once it gets to us. So that is an area that we are monitoring and watching. As we come down this area, it's looking really good. Again, mopping up, got engines in there behind folks' houses, and doing a lot of work in there. So you probably saw a little heavier smoke today. This southwest corner has been giving us a lot of fits, and what we've done is we put in hand line down here to shorten the amount of area that's going to burn. This morning when we got out there, before we were able to start burning, the fire did slop over our line. We were able to get that lined and secured, and then the fire kind of was chasing us down, working down the hill. And so we brought fire down to secure that. We've been burning that all day, and they've turned the corner. They're about ready to tie it in and seal that off. Now, it did get a little warm today in there, so we called in the tools that we had with our disposal. So we brought in the air tankers and the scoopers and the helicopters, and we really put the hurt to it. So any slop overs that we did get across our line, they're all contained. They're working it. We're put some extra crews in there tonight to work on that all night long. So we're looking good at this time.
Okay, thanks, Walt. And once again, the operations map is on the back of the handout. And Walt will be around to answer some questions with the Q&A and even after that. So next up, we'd like to invite Matt Callahan, and he is our incident meteorologist. Basically, he gives us weather every day, and so he's going to talk about the weather outlook on this matrix here. So welcome, Matt.
Thank you. Again, my name is Matt Callahan. I'm an incident meteorologist with the National Weather Service office, Pendleton, Oregon. So close to home, but not necessarily in northeastern Washington. So thank you for having me. We're going to go on a quick weather journey, right? So this started on the 19th, so we're going to go to the 18th. During that day, we did see those afternoon humidities dip down into the mid-teens, highs in the low 90s, southwest winds around 10 miles an hour sustained with gusts reaching around 20. On the 19th, when the fire started, we actually saw things slightly improve. Those RHs were between 20-25% in the afternoon. We also saw those temperatures dipping down a little bit as well into the upper 80s to low 90s. Those winds stayed the same, though, out of the southwest, 10, gusting 20. And now, since then, things have improved. We've experienced some good overnight humidity recoveries, especially last couple of days, not necessarily last night, but before then, we actually saw those overnight humidities in the morning reach between 90 and 100%. So that's really good when we're thinking, humidity, right? As we continue, though, we have been pretty dry. Month to date, we're about 4 degrees above normal for this time of year, and precip-wise, we're about a ½ inch drier for the month. Year to date, we're about half, so we're about down about 9 inches for the entire year, and temperature-wise, we're still above average, around 4 degrees of normal. So a little warmer, and obviously a little drier than what we're normally used to in this type of area. So as we continue today, we did see those afternoon humidities continue to dip down into the low 20s. Highs reached into the low 90s. And we also saw some breezy winds out of the southwest, a little inversion set up, so very low, calm winds, very diurnally driven, meaning they're essentially downsloping because hot air rises overnight, and then that becomes more upslope as temperatures warm through the afternoon. So we did experience that, little breezy winds out of the southwest through the afternoon, around 10 miles an hour, with gusting around 20. We'll see those winds increase a little bit tomorrow. So we'll see those winds around sustained still out of the southwest, 10 miles an hour. That inversion will break a little bit too. So usually in the morning, very early, very calm winds. That's going to break a little earlier tomorrow around 9 a.m. So we'll start to see those winds increasing through the morning out of the southwest. And then through the afternoon, they'll be peaking, really around 1 to 7 p.m. We'll see those winds out of the southwest around 10 miles an hour and gusting to up to 20, 22 miles an hour. So a little breezier tomorrow, and the humidities will be fairly similar. Temperatures will be cooler though. We won't be dipping into the 90s. We'll be staying into the mid to upper 80s. Things will stay the course as we take a look at the weather matrix. Temperatures are going to stay in the mid to low 80s. So really we're looking at anything above 90 degrees being pretty warm and drying things pretty quickly. We will also experience those southwesterly winds and afternoon humidity still hovering in the mid to low 20s. Also something to note is these max humidities. Those are the morning overnight recoveries. So those are also trending slightly downward as well. We'll be seeing those into the mid to upper 60 percentile as we continue through the weekend. As you notice, early next week, a little more red. So that really, what we're looking at is these specific criteria down here that's going to be more conditions for burning, essentially. So there are going to be some thresholds that, weather thresholds that we set into place. So what we're really looking at this matrix is several of these categories being red. That's obviously going to be a concern. Not necessarily one, not necessarily two, but when we start seeing 3, 4, 5 of those categories being red, things are aligning and all pointing to very dangerous burning conditions weather-wise. So the good thing to take away from this is we're not seeing a whole lot of those days being a lot of red. But one thing we are seeing is that trend downward, especially as we go into the early part of next week. What we're going to experience is a little bit of an upper level ridge to our southeast. What that means is we're going to see low winds, which is good, but warming and drying conditions because those wind directions will be coming out of the east. So that'll be kind of more continental an air mass versus a more maritime air mass. So that's going to bring us a lot drier conditions. So those afternoon humidities will be dipping down, especially after Sunday going into Tuesday. That's when we're expecting those to really be bottoming out into the mid to upper teens. Those temperatures will also be ramping up as well into the mid 90s. So it is going to be warm. It is going to be dry. The good news is the winds look to be not bad. Sustained winds are actually going to be trending downward, so looking like around or below 10 miles an hour as we go through that period. That's one thing that is kind of the silver lining when we see a ridge. Usually we don't have a whole lot of those high winds associated with that ridge. One thing to note though, that ridge will be breaking down. So you notice a probability of lightning that does start to increase Wednesday and looking into Thursday. That is also going to continue to increase. So we do have the potential of experiencing some isolated thunderstorms Wednesday and Thursday, and then things kind of slacken off and get a little, as the weather gets a little bit more benign and more zonal. What that really means is we see